So I got myself this Sony ZV1 Mark2 to use it as an overhead camera in my home studio setup, but I'm having a huge problem with it and no one is talking about, so let's dive in this video. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on my channel. I'm PhotoRabs. I make videos about photography, filmmaking, camera tech related reviews, unboxings, action cams, vlogging kits and so on. If you are interested in these topics, I highly appreciate if you go subscribe to my channel. That's a massive help. And as I said in the beginning of this video, I got this Sony ZV1 Mark2 to use it as an overhead camera for my home studio setup to help me create some top-down shots on the products that I'm showing you and to help me create some thumbnails for my YouTube videos and maybe to create some tutorials on this channel as well. This one is a very lightweight camera, very capable in terms of videos and photos, so this is the best solution for me to have it just on top of my desk, and it won't be in the way of my fill light or the key light, or even not in the way of my main camera, the X-H2S from Fujifilm. You might say you have the Fujifilm X-S20 and you made lots of videos about it, and this is the perfect match for the Fujifilm X-H2S, your main camera, and it can shoot in 10 bits f/2 exactly like the Fujifilm X-H2S. And the main problem of this Fuji camera now in this setup is that it's a bit thick, so it's gonna be in the way of my main camera, and that's a bit annoying. I don't want to move everything in order to put this camera on top of my desk, and I cannot take the overhead stand a little bit higher because it will be in the way of my key lights. So I have a small space, I cannot do everything that I want here, so that's why I got this camera. I could have gone with the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 that can shoot in 10 bits, but the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, it's very hard to connect it to an external monitor when I would like to create my thumbnails, when I would like to create some top-down shots. It's somehow impossible, and I always need to have my phone in order to have the DJI Memo app and monitoring what's happening, because the screen is not a tilt screen, while this one I can tilt it in all the directions, and that's the main reason why I got this one. This camera has the Sony autofocus system, which is amazing, very accurate and very reliable, and we have a focal length from 18 to 50 millimeters, which helped me create some tight shots on my products, and that's something that I really appreciate on this one for an overhead camera setup. The main problem of this one is the 8-bit, but again, I'm not color matching it with my Fuji X-H2S, so it's not a big problem for me. I'm not filming all the video with it, so it's not a big deal for me. And the other issue is that when I connect it to the monitor that I have on the side here, the DeskView V5, a 5-inch monitor that I have on my side, and I can see exactly what's happening on the monitor, because I don't like to have this LCD screen turned towards me because it's gonna be in the way of my fill light. So I like to have the LCD screen like this. And once again, I have turned off the LED on the front side because I don't want to have some reflections on my table, on my desk when I'm shooting the top-down shots. So I don't have, when the screen is somehow closed, I don't have any idea whether this camera is recording or not, because I cannot see the info on the LCD screen on my side, especially because I'm shooting in 4K, and that's a huge problem that no one is talking about it. I searched everywhere on the internet, all the Sony reviewers on YouTube, and no one is mentioning this main problem. And to be honest, when I bought this one, I was very excited to use it with my monitor, to have exactly the same LCD screen that I have here on my monitor, so I can monitor exactly what's happening, whether it's recording or not. But now this is the main issue that I found with this camera. That was really frustrating, and I wanted to return this camera back because I cannot use it in the way that I want to use it for. And I even tried to change my monitor. I used the Godox G7MS instead of this DeskView V5, and again I have the same problem. I cannot have the HDMI info on the monitor until I found a hack that if we change the 4K to 1920 by 1080, that will work perfectly. So I tried to do it, and as you can see on the screen, it works, and that's something great. But I don't want to shoot in 1920, I want to shoot in 4K, because all my videos now, all my timelines are in 4K. And since this camera is capable to shoot very nice image quality in 4K, why to go down to 1920? And that was a big problem once again, that no one was talking about it all over the internet, until I discovered this creator app that Sony invited us to install as soon as we turned on this Sony ZV1 Mark2. And I was not using this app before, and when I discovered it, it's an amazing app. You have a full control over this camera. You can monitor everything happening on the screen, and you can change the focal length, you can change the aperture, you can change the shutter speed, the ISO, the focus system, and everything that you would like to change on the camera, that you would like to change from the menu of this camera, you can change from the application. And that's something just perfect. So now I can monitor everything from this camera, and I can even control the camera with my phone, and we don't have lags at all, and it works really perfectly. And really, this is an amazing application. You don't need any effort to use it. You only need to configure it on the first time, and then it will work perfectly without problems at all. All you need to do is to turn on the camera first, and then go to your application on your smartphone, turn it on, and then you can click on remote shooting, and now it will connect within seconds. You can have everything that you want on the camera, you can control it over the application. So if you haven't used this application before, I highly recommend you to install the Creator app from Sony to verify if it's compatible with your camera model, because it works not only with this Sony ZV1 Mark2 but with some other cameras from Sony as well. I'll try to put the link of the Sony website in the description below. Feel free to check it out to see whether the application is compatible with your camera or not. And the good thing is that now I don't have to put my monitor on this overhead setup, so I can remove it completely, and I can rely only on my smartphone to monitor and to control the camera in the same time. And that's something amazing. So I can remove the HDMI cable and the power cable of the monitor, so I only have to power this camera, because the battery of this camera does not last for a long time. So make sure to power it up when you are using it as an overhead camera for your setup. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something new, especially about this Sony ZV1 Mark2 and the other Sony cameras. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, share and subscribe. Don't forget to check my affiliate links in the description below. I have lots of promo codes, lots of good deals about photography and videography products that I've talked about previously on my channel. By buying from my affiliate links, you can save some money and you help my channel a lot. And thank you for watching. Ciao for now.